Hey horse lovers, welcome back to Free Spirit Equestrian. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you what I feed all 10 of my horses, including my brand new foal, Esmeralda. I am so excited to talk to you about nutrition and what grain I feed and show you all of the horses. I'm really looking forward to talking to you all about the nutrition points, why I feed what I feed, and how I manage my herd health-wise when it comes to nutrition and feeding them the proper supplements and grain. All right, you all hungry? You ready to eat? Mushy! You the chunkiest one, aren't you? Just a little bit. Use a little bit chunky. So I'm going to show you a clip of our monthly grain haul. And on average, we feed about 16 bags of grain per month because I have 10 horses on average. So that's about what we feed. And obviously that's going to vary on what kind of horses you have, what type of barn you run, the activity level of the horses, the breeds, the weights, all of that stuff, which we'll talk about more. I have been looking forward to making this video for a long time. So let me show you our grain haul. Here is our monthly grain haul. We have the truck all loaded up. So what's super convenient is we get all of our tribute feed basically right across the street at Chelsea Lumber. So it's perfect. Here you can see my little mini pig Penelope. Every time she hears a bag of grain, she has to come over and inspect it to make sure we didn't drop any. So she actually loves the Essential K. What I really like about Tribute is that they are located in Ohio, and all of you know I'm a Michigander, so it's within the Midwest, and I love that it's family owned. I'm extremely picky about what I feed my horses. Tribute is really the only company that I've trusted for so long, and my horses all look phenomenal, and that's why I've stuck with this grain for its entirety. I also like how their grain is produced and manufactured. There are no harsh chemicals or anything unsafe within their feed, so I think that's fantastic. They also back their product. They have a 100% money back guaranteed. Tribute actually cares about the horses. They not only care about their health and their well-being, but their longevity. And you can just tell by the way that they promote their company, the way they help their customers and back their product. And to me, that's huge. And also why I've been with them for so long, feeding their product to all of my horses. Plus, I like how they have different types of grain, which we're going to talk about here, and the ones that I feed for all types of horses, no matter what the situation is or what level of work they're in. We also will have a little surprise for you guys, so make sure that you listen and keep watching because I think this is so fun and cool. Okay, so you saw our monthly grain haul, and now we're towards the end of the month, so here's what we're down to. Okay, so this is what we're down to. As you can see, I'm gonna be feeding the full foundation, and then I also feed Essential K and Senior Sport. I have fed other tribute feeds, but these are the ones I'm currently feeding. And today I'm so excited because it's gonna be the first time that I feed Ezzy the full foundation, and we're gonna be using a creep feeder. So I will talk about that later. We're gonna save her feeding for last, the best for last. And then I'll talk to you about the Essential K and the Senior Sport too, and talk to you about which horses get what feed. All right, so I'm gonna feed the horses, bring them in one by one, and I'm gonna show you what each horse gets, their portions, and talk about it. First up, we're gonna feed Jiminy Cricket, the OG here at Free Spirit Equestrian. For those of you who don't know, he's my first horse, my heart horse, and forever horse. Let's get his food all ready. Okay, so it's really important that when you start feeding grain or you're switching to a new grain or whatever the case may be, you won't know exactly what it weighs. So what I use here is a little scale. You can get this on Amazon or anywhere, and it's perfect for weighing your grain to make sure that you're giving your horses the proper rations and portions. So what you can do is you can press the tare button first. That way it eliminates the weight of the scoop. You also could just weigh the scoop and know how much it weighs and deduct that from the weight, but you can just tear it out. So you can see here, I press the tare button and I put the scoop on, and there you go. So it's zeroed out. And then you can weigh your grain. Okay, so here is the nutrition on the Essential K and all of that. And then this is pretty much the feeding directions. Now, of course, all of that's gonna vary depending on your horse, the amount of exercise, and if you're adding in anything else, but that is the general chart. So Jiminy is in moderate work and he's about 11 to 1,200 pounds roughly. So we're gonna feed him about 2.5 pounds of grain. So roughly 3/4 of a scoop. It's tared out. So we're gonna add just a little bit more. Perfect. Put it in this bucket. I also feed my horses some loose salt every day. Of course, they have access, 24/7 access to mineral blocks as well. So I feed them salt because horses can lose up to 30% of their needed salt intake, and it's not as easy for them to replenish it. Plus the Himalayan has extra minerals and all of that. So most of my horses get Essential K, and basically what it is designed to do is be a ration balancer. So it's very low sugar, very low starch. It's safe for metabolic horses or horses that have any type of insulin resistant issues or anything like that. My horses primarily are fed a forage diet. I feed the Essential K so that they get all of their essential nutrients and minerals and that they have everything they need to support their overall health and well-being. Plus my horses are in daily work. So they get their calories from their forage and they get their nutrients and minerals from Essential K. So Essential K is not designed to give horses caloric intake. It's basically a top feed or a feed that is designed to really give the horse the nutrients that they need overall. I also really like Essential K because it's low in NSC, which is non-structural carbohydrates. And that is very, very important because we don't want our horses having an excess of too much sugar or starch, okay? So I think that's very, very important. If they have access to too much NSC, then that can lead to a lot of issues and health issues down the road. All right, so we got the salt in here for Jiminy. So I also do add water so that it's easier for the horses to digest. Just about that much. Mix it up really well. Okay, let's bring Jiminy in. Okay, now we're gonna get Jafar's food ready. He is my 7-year-old Frisian standard bred. He's slightly smaller than Jiminy, so we're gonna give him about like 2.2 pounds of Essential K. I love how Jafar's coat looks on this feed. I got him a few years ago, and before he had a dull coat, and now he's super shiny. Even though we did get a lot of rain the other day, so the horses are not groomed yet, but when he's groomed up, he looks phenomenal. You gotta refill. So it's great, you just and then the fun part, these bags are thick enough that you can use them as a garbage bag afterwards. That's what we do, okay? Why not? If it works, that's great. Okay, now I'm gonna feed big boy Gaston. So he is a Canadian horse and he's 1,300 pounds. So we're gonna feed him just over 3 pounds of Essential K. It's a lot. All right. Next up is Olaf. So he is a POA and he is a little bit smaller. I want to say he's about 1,000 pounds, just under. So we're going to give him about 2 pounds of grain. So maybe about half a scoop. We'll see. Perfect. Exactly 2 pounds. Now I'm going to feed BAGHEERA. She is the only horse that I currently have on the senior sport. And you can see it looks a lot different. A lot different than the Essential K. Okay, so here is the Senior Sport, and it has all of the nutrition and all of that information there. Plus, you obviously feed a lot more of this, and we're going to talk about why. So Bagheera is the only horse on Senior Sport, like I was saying. So she's 28 years old, and she's still very active. But the reason I'm feeding her the Senior Sport versus just the Essential K is because she needs the calories. And this is a safe way to give her more calories. So she is a Morgan Standard bred. She has a very high metabolism and burns lots of calories. She's in great condition right now, but I just want her to maintain that because she's doing moderate work too. Nothing too heavy, nothing too light, the perfect amount of exercise, but I want to maintain that. And this feed has a higher fiber, higher fat intake, but it still has low starch, low sugar, which is perfect for what she needs. That way she won't develop any metabolic issues or problems from the grain and having too high of sugar and starch content in her system. So Bagheera gets way more than most of the horses besides Belle, which we'll talk about her later. So we're gonna go ahead and weigh this. So right now I want her to have about 5 pounds of grain per day. All right, so this is tared out. Okay, so we're at about 2.7. So I want her to have between 5 to 6 pounds per day, just depending on exactly what we're doing. And she is gonna be doing some training later this afternoon. So she'll get the 2 scoops. Also, Bagheera is a super picky eater, and she loves this grain. It's very palatable, and she just gobbles it right up. I was like, thank goodness, because she has just been so picky, but she absolutely loves the Senior Sport. Bagheera is also super picky about where she eats, and this is the only stall with the walkout paddock where she'll eat all of her grain. If I put her in any other stall, she's really slow about eating, but she just gobbles it up right here. So I think that's really funny. And also, all of my horses get these portions 1 time per day. Now, if I was doing a little bit of a heavier workout, I would feed her a second meal, but this is still within like the 5-6 pound range. You don't want to feed over 6 pounds in one feeding, but she's done really well with this system, and she actually does better when she's only fed the grain 1 time per day versus coming in twice. So, you know, you just have to do what's best for your horses, and that's what works for us currently. So all these portions are just once a day, and you can see how the horses look. Like, all of them are well muscled, none of them are thin, and it's working really well. And in the summer and fall, they are out on pasture 24/7 with access to a free choice round bale, which is a mix of grass and alfalfa. And then of course in the winter we don't have pasture, so then they're just on 24/7 round bale as well. Plus our grain, which gives them the extra nutrition. Next, I'm gonna feed Mushu, who is the chunkiest of them all. So he hardly gets anything. Most of the time, traditional cobs, like, they carry their weight and they're easy keepers, so to speak. That's why Essential K is definitely the choice for him. So he only gets about 1 to 1.5 pounds of the Essential K 1 time per day. Okay, 1.5, so that's perfect. It's about 1/4 of a scoop. And I will say that the Essential K is dense. It weighs more than some other grains might. So again, that's why you definitely want to make sure that you're weighing it and not just going off the scoop. So pretty. The Mushu. He says, yeah, I barely get any grain, but I still love it. All right, so now we're gonna feed ZAZU. So he is a gaited horse, and he is on the smaller side. I'm gonna guess he's probably around maybe about 1,000 pounds. So he's gonna get about 2 pounds of grain, so about half a scoop. Now we're gonna feed Arlo. So he is about 1,100 pounds. He's also another gaited horse that I have. So we're gonna give him about 2.5 pounds of grain. So roughly 3/4 of a scoop. So Belle is lactating. She doesn't need the caloric intake necessarily from the grain. She's getting that from her forage, and we're giving her alfalfa as well. But she does need more nutrients to give that to the foal Esmeralda. So she is getting 4 pounds of Essential K per day and 24/7 forage as well. And then we're gonna feed little Ezzy her full foundation for the first time ever too. I bought Belle back in February, and this is her today. So she's been on tribute the entire time, and her condition, especially after just having Esmeralda, is phenomenal. And I can't wait to see how it affects Ezzy too. I also am feeding her this Mare and Foal supplement just as a little bit extra. I make hers more of like a soup so that it's easier for her to digest and she's getting more hydration. Yummy. All right, so you can see here the full foundation. And essentially it's saying that they should have free choice access to Tribute Full Foundation from 1 to 2 weeks of age through 3 months. And the target consumption is about 1 pound per 100 pounds of body weight. So Ezzy is roughly 115, 120 pounds. So we're gonna give her just a pound today so she can get used to it. And I'll show you how we feed that in the creep feeder. And hopefully she'll figure out how to eat out of it today for the first time. The reason that we feed this is because the mare's milk cannot always provide the proper nutrition, especially after like a few weeks or a few months. So we just want to make sure that Ezzy is getting everything she possibly needs. And that's why we're going to provide her basically more nutrients and mineral feeding the full foundation. So I'm really excited to see if she'll figure out the creep feeder right away, and it's gonna be really fun. Ooh, it looks different. Look at it. It's like little pellets. It smells good. I always smell the grain. That's so cool. It's like little tiny pellets. So obviously we have to weigh this like we do our other grain because it's a new feed and I've never fed it before. Okay, so we're looking for about 1.5 pounds. It's a half a scoop right now, and it's about 1.7 pounds. So take a little bit out. I actually want to go with 1 pound today, though. Probably need more than that. Yeah, a little more. Okay, perfect. So just about 1 pound. And I'm going to put it in the bucket. I'm going to put a little bit of water in it, and then we'll put it in the creep feeder. All right, I got Mama and Baby's grain for the day. So let's go feed these two girls. Aw, she's eating now. Look at this. What's this? Huh? What's this? Good girl. Ooh, yummy. Good job. Look at this. You'll figure that out. So the creep feeder is designed so that the foal just like she's doing, can put her nose in it, and that Belle can't put her big nose in it and come and eat her portions. So she figured it out pretty much right away. Like, we just installed this and we have not put any food in it yet. So she immediately was like, oh, okay. Good job, Ez. Good girl. Good job. How is that? Yummy? Good job. Good girl. Grab this bucket so it doesn't fall on you. And Belle, you get to munch on yours. Huh. Wow, look at that. Yummy, huh? What'd you think of that? Was it yummy? Was it good? Yeah? You did so good. You're so smart. You figured it out. She said, yes, I'm smart. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl.
She scratches now.
Yes, she loves scratches.
She loves attention.
You good baby. Good baby. So she likes back scratches along the longissimus dorsi right here and on her butt. We've also been working on picking up her legs. Been doing good with that. I know. Moving away from pressure a little bit. Oh, let's see this one. Good girl. Are you trying? Good girl. Ezzy also knows how to give kisses, so she knows a trick already at 2 weeks old, basically. So the creep feeder is also adjustable. You can move the top part to make the opening larger or smaller, and that way, if her nose gets bigger, she will still be able to use it. So she still likes to eat Belle's grain a little bit, but soon she'll figure out that that's her grain and that's Belle's, and Belle won't be able to access Ezzy's, so it works out great. So now Belle is at the point where she will sometimes let Ezzy eat, but she also will tell her to move away from the grain, like teaching her manners, which is good. So that's why we're like, okay, now Ezzy can have the creep feeder and have her own full foundation. And I'm so happy that Tribute offers that, because this is my first full, so this is a whole new thing to me. And that just made it a lot easier. And then they gave me a lot of suggestions and advice. So that was good. Can I give you a snuggie? 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 Oh, he's a good girl. Oh, my good baby. Oh, my good baby. Oh, my good baby. I love her. I love my good baby. Don't bite me. My good baby.
As you guys can see, she's very friendly.
Look at the pretty baby.
She loves getting scratches.
So cute. So Ezzy and I have a surprise for you. Tribute is offering to the first 100 people that click on my link and sign up for a free personalized equine feeding plan. They get a free bag of Tribute grain, whichever one they deem is best for your horse. I think that is going to be so much fun, and I love that. So if you want to sign up for that, the link is in the description. Okay, horse lovers, I really hope that you enjoyed watching our feeding video and that you learned a little bit. I love Tribute. Like I said, I've been feeding Tribute for several years. They are fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications so you don't miss anything Free Spirit Equestrian, and I'll see you next time, horse lovers. Bye!